Beneath the sand-swept plains of West Africa lies a forgotten empire. Once wealthier than Egypt and more mysterious than Timbuktu, this is the untold story of Sela, a city lost to time, buried by silence, erasure, and the desert itself. I'm the host, and this is Season 2, Episode 6 of the series, The Desert That Disappeared. It's the story of Africa's lost empire. Before we dive into this week's episode, if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe and join the BreezeBangla network, where you can watch all of our videos ad-free one day early. Africa is a continent full of life, culture, color, and contrasts. But here at the edge of the Sahara, the vast emptiness of the desert stretches to the horizon. The dry wind sweeps across the cracked earth, carrying with it the whispers of an ancient past. Here in the heart of West Africa, beneath these endless dunes lies a tale of an empire so rich, it put the legendary kingdoms of gold to shame. But the most surprising thing about this lost world is that its memory has been swept away like sand in the wind. For centuries, the bustling markets and royal palaces of Kumasi Sahel have been swallowed by the desert, leaving behind nothing but crumbling ruins and fragmented histories. Now, until recently, few knew of its existence, let alone its splendor. Yet this was once a city of great wealth and sophistication, a center of trade, scholarship, and culture that played a pivotal role in shaping the course of African history. It was the capital of the ancient Ghana Empire, not the modern nation of Ghana, which is located further south. And it was so important that its likes rivaled the grandeur of Egypt and the mystique of Timbuktu. The empire derived its wealth from the trans-Saharan trade, controlling the flow of gold and salt between the north and the south. In fact, the city became known as the Mecca of gold due to its immense wealth. Gold, salt, scholars, kings all passed through its majestic gates. But the wealth of the empire did not just reside in its golden treasures. Sela boasted a rich cultural blend of African tradition and Arab influence, making it a true melting pot of civilizations. Arab historians like al-Bakri, who visited in the 12th century, raved about its elegance. He wrote that its king received him and his companions with great honor, and that the city was adorned with beautiful gardens, advanced architecture, bustling markets, mosques, and libraries. It was a place where different cultures converged, and where ideas were exchanged freely. Sela wasn't just a city of gold, it was a hub of intellectual discourse and religious tolerance. However, despite its reputation for wealth, its strategic location made it vulnerable. Controlling the gold trade across the Sahara presented both opportunities and challenges. To the north, caravans brought in not only precious metals, but also a way of life. Through these trade routes came merchants, scholars, and missionaries from North Africa. They carried with them the teachings of Islam, which took root and flourished in the fertile ground of the empire. To the south, the riches of the gold trade fueled the growth and prosperity of the empire. It became a magnet for traders and artisans from distant lands, creating a vibrant marketplace of ideas and goods. But it was precisely this commerce that bred envy in the north. To the west and north of the empire lived the Berbers, a nomadic tribe of fierce warriors and skilled horsemen. Despite their nomadic lifestyle, they longed for power and riches, and when they looked south, they saw the wealth of the Ghana Empire and coveted it for themselves. And then came Almoravid, a Berber dynasty that united various tribes under the banner of Islam and set its sights on conquering the south. Led by their charismatic leader Yusuf bin Tashfin, they launched a campaign to subjugate the region. But they weren't just conquerors seeking land and power. They also aimed to impose their brand of Islam on the diverse populations they encountered. In the year 1076, Almoravid invaded the empire with a massive army. The Ghana forces were caught off guard. Though the Ghanaians were fierce warriors, they were not used to cavalry warfare. They fought valiantly, but against the superior numbers and tactics of the Almoravid army, they were defeated. After their victory, the Almoravid began to impose their religion on the conquered territories, including Kumasi. While some willingly converted to Islam, many Ghanaians resisted, clinging to their indigenous beliefs and traditions. This clash of cultures would have a profound impact on the city's destiny. But why did the Almoravids invade in the first place? Was it truly a holy war to spread Islam, or was it simply a lust for power and gold? Or perhaps it was a bit of both. As the Ghanaians resisted, the Almoravids tightened their grip on the city. The defeat weakened the empire. The once proud capital was now under the control of its conquerors, Kambi Salad had reached the peak of its glory. The empire's control over the gold trade made it a target, and the religion of the people became a tool for conquest. The seeds of decline were sown, and the city's fate began to turn. As the empire crumbled, the trade routes it once controlled fell into new hands. One notable beneficiary was the Kingdom of Mali, which would eventually rise to become the largest empire in West African history. Mansa Musa, the most famous ruler of Mali, inherited the trade routes and the legacy of Kambi Sela. Under his reign, Mali became a center of trade and scholarship, and its wealth rivaled that of the ancient Ghana. However, while Mali thrived, Kambi Sela was forgotten, not by the people whose memories kept its history alive, but by the very maps and records that documented the world. Explorers from Europe, armed with their tales of adventure and discovery, set out to chart the unknown. But as they ventured into Africa, they came with preconceived notions and biases that shaped their narratives. When they arrived in Mali and saw its bustling markets and impressive architecture, they marveled at its grandeur. But when they heard tales of a lost city of gold swallowed by the desert, they dismissed them as myths or legends. They labeled Africans as uncivilized, backward, and incapable of building such a sophisticated city. And thus, the story of Kambi Sela faded into obscurity, buried under layers of sand and stereotypes. Western scholars claimed that Africa had no written history, that its past was too primitive to leave behind records. They imposed a narrative that depicted Africans as living in a state of perpetual darkness. Meanwhile, oral histories were dismissed as mere folklore, unable to convey the complexities of a lost empire, and yet the legends persisted. Whispers of a great city of gold, passed down through generations of Africans, kept the memory of Kambi Sela alive. The story was too compelling to be buried forever, and as the 20th century dawned, archaeologists set out to uncover the truth. In the 1920s, a team of European explorers ventured into the desolate landscapes of West Africa, driven by rumors of a hidden city of gold. Armed with little more than intuition and determination, they scoured the barren landscape, following clues left by fading legends and old maps. Their quest led them to a small village called Walata, nestled in the heart of Mauritania. Legends spoke of a grand city buried nearby, and Walata seemed like the key to unlocking its secrets. As the explorers dug deeper into the earth, they uncovered fragments of a magnificent past. They unearthed stone foundations, hinting at the presence of grand buildings and structures. Artifacts such as pottery, jewelry, and weapons lay scattered around, whispering tales of a prosperous and sophisticated society. They discovered remnants of a city wall, silent sentinels standing guard over the lost empire. Each brick and stone unearthed brought them closer to understanding the true scale and grandeur of this forgotten kingdom. The desert sands had done their job, keeping the secret safe for centuries. But now the world was about to know the truth. Through excavations in the 1930s and 40s, more pieces of the puzzle were found, connecting the dots of a rich tapestry of history. By the 1960s, enough evidence had been gathered to form a clearer picture of Kambi Sela, the lost empire, yet the damage to its memory was already done. For centuries, the world had believed that Africa had no history, that its past was shrouded in darkness. Now, even as evidence of this great empire surfaced, many still refused to believe it. Despite the discovery of these magnificent ruins, the tale of Kambi Sela remains a hidden gem, known only to a select few. The journey to rediscover the city's glory has been long and arduous, marked by skepticism and disbelief. Yet those who dared to dream of a glorious African past refused to give up. Their determination paid off when in 2019, new evidence proved beyond doubt that Kambi Sela was real. It was not a myth, legend, or figment of imagination. Recent research revealed its strategic importance in connecting sub-Saharan Africa to the broader Islamic world. It was more than a trading post. It was a beacon of cultural exchange and intellectual discourse. The discovery of the city's advanced architectural techniques astonished researchers. The realization that such sophistication existed in pre-colonial Africa challenged long-held misconceptions about the continent's history. Today, the story of Kambi Sela continues to captivate historians and archaeologists alike. Its rediscovery has opened up new avenues of research, promising to shed more light on this enigmatic lost empire. The existence of Kambisela serves as a potent reminder of the richness and depth of African history. Why does the story of Kambisela matter today? Because it's a tale of human resilience, ingenuity, and the enduring power of the human spirit. It's a story that resonates with everyone, regardless of their background or beliefs. It matters because it challenges the distorted narratives that have often overshadowed African history. It's a testament to the creativity, innovation, and brilliance of African minds. So what other stories are still buried under our feet waiting to be unearthed? Join the conversation on social media. Share your thoughts, stories, and ideas using the hashtag provided. Let's keep the conversation going. Together, we can rewrite textbooks, reclaim erased histories, and celebrate the triumphs of our ancestors. This is your host. Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Desert That Disappeared. It's the story of Africa's lost empire. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and share it with others who might be interested. You can also subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our latest episodes. Don't forget to check out our other videos, which celebrate the beauty, culture, and heritage of Africa. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring the world around you.